We are back with another explosive expose where we break down why Conan's main plot has failed its fans. Make sure to leave a like and a comment to support us. Let's get into it. Point 1. Gin went from terrifying to joke. Gin was introduced in the first episode of the anime, and ever since then, he has been a looming presence over the entire series. He is responsible for some of the most tragic events in the story, and he is also the reason why Conan and the gang keep on getting stronger. For the longest time, Gin was a ghost that haunted the protagonist's dreams. And when he finally decided to come out of the shadows, all he did was make empty threats while hiding behind his lackeys. In a way, Gin reminds me of Hannibal Lecter, except Hannibal actually did something. After Gin made a fool of himself by kidnapping Sherry and failing to kill Conan, he became nothing more than a background character who only shows up every now and then to make empty threats. Gin went from being a terrifying villain to an annoying fly that won't shut up but can't do anything. His character has been reduced to a parody of himself, and it's honestly quite sad to see. Point 2. Vermouth's complex role. Rum was introduced in the anime as a mysterious woman who had a very close relationship with the main protagonist. Throughout the series, we were constantly reminded that she was a dangerous individual who should not be underestimated. However, after all that buildup, her role in the story turned out to be: Rum was essentially a spy who worked for the Black Organization and passed on intel to Conan. But other than that, she really didn't do much. Her undercover work as a member of the Tojo group was incredibly sloppy, and if it was on for Conan's luck, she would have been exposed long ago. Rum's character had so much potential, but it was wasted because the writers had no idea what to do with her. She could have been an amazing asset to the protagonist, but instead, she is just a liability. Point 3. Bourbon's entire character. Bourbon is one of the most mysterious members of the Black Organization, and his real identity was a secret that fans were dying to know. Throughout the series, we saw flashbacks of his childhood and learned about his tragic past. All of this made Bourbon seem like an important character whose backstory would eventually be revealed. However, his entire character was nothing but a red herring to make us think that there was more to him than met the eye. In reality, Bourbon was just a simple undercover agent whose only purpose was to infiltrate the FBI and provide intel to the Black Organization. His backstory was never relevant to the plot, and his character arc was non-existent. The writers led us to believe that he was an important character, but in reality, he was just a plot device. Point 4. Rum Reveal. The reveal of Rum's identity was one of the most highly anticipated moments in the series, and it did not disappoint. Wait, what? Seriously though, the reveal of Rum's identity was incredibly anticlimactic. We spent years wondering who Rum was, and when their true identity was finally revealed, they were just an old man with eye problems. There was no build-up to this moment, and it felt like the writers were just trying to be mysterious for the sake of it. Rum could have been anyone, and it would have made just as much sense. The reveal was a complete surprise, and it left fans scratching their heads in confusion. To make matters worse, the reveal of Rum's identity had no impact on the plot whatsoever. It was like the writers just threw in a random twist just to mess with us. Rum could have been anyone, and it would have made just as much sense. The reveal was a complete surprise, and it left fans scratching their heads in confusion. To make matters worse, the reveal of Rum's identity had no impact on the plot whatsoever. It was like the writers just threw in a random twist just to mess with us. Point 5. The Boss Mystery. The leader of the Black Organization is known only as the Boss, and his true identity has been a mystery since the first episode of the anime. For years, fans have been trying to figure out who the Boss is and what their connection to the main characters is. However, the more the story progresses, the more we realize that we may never get an answer. The writers have deliberately kept the Boss's identity a secret for so long that it has become a meme at this point. Will we ever find out who the Boss is, or are we doomed to be kept in the dark forever? Only time will tell, but as the series continues to drag on, we may never get an answer. And if that happens, it will be a major disappointment for fans who have been invested in this mystery for years. That's all for today. Please leave a like and a comment to support us and let us know what you think. See you next time.